Yo, what is up, guys? So we have the Evil Eye plus the TianWei Dragons combined into one deck. I think it's actually a pretty good mix-up here. If you guys have played the TianWei Dragons, you know that there are a ton of times where you will just brick. You go for your one vanilla, it goes away and that's it. But when you mix it in with the Evil Eyes, you have a lot more potential here. You can see he's activating Urgent Schedule. That's going to go ahead and get negated. He's going to go ahead and go for Harvester. That effect is going to go ahead and get negated courtesy of Giant Hand. But now he's got material inside of the graveyard for, of course, his vanilla to go ahead and banish. So he's going to go ahead and destroy via the Evil Eye when he goes ahead and special summons that monster. And he's going to go ahead and attack because he's not going to attack into any of these because, well, he wants to equip it. But that's not going to happen because he's got that material again detached. He didn't even probably remember that he had detached material from, of course, the 106. But I got a couple of replays that I wanted to share with you guys to show off, how the deck can play. But the Evil Eyes themselves can already win basically off of just one of the cards because this card searches out this card, which searches out this card. You have like a one card that can instantly go into three cards, not even counting the TianWeis. If you happen to have a TianWei, which a lot of times in this deck what you'll do is you go for a TianWei plus, of course, the Watcher of the Evil Eye Surzeal, and from there you already have options to force your opponent to activate multiple cards for, again, you just got all this off of one card. Now, in addition to that, the Land of the Eternal is such a fantastic card. When you can get a first turn Surzeal, you get a first turn TianWei Dragon, maybe have one or two hand traps in the grave or in your hand, and then following up with this, that's where it becomes very dirty because you can draw cards off of course, Land of Eternal, that you can just utilize instantly. And I think that this duel over here is just mostly showing off the Evil Eyes, even though this card would be technically dead. And then we also have Sentence of the Evil Eye, which can negate almost anything anyways. So you have a lot of just, I'm going to negate anything cards. Not only do TianWeis have it, but of course the Evil Eyes do also have it. Plus, because terraforming is something that I think is not bad at all in TianWeis. I maxed out on Eternal. I mean, drawing two cards is not that uncommon every single turn because your opponent is going to be special summoning monsters, and if your opponent does not special summon, well, you should be a-okay in a TianWei deck. But like I said, I had a few different showcasings off of just kind of the deck in action, but a lot of times your play is first turn, go for, again, a vanilla. He's got a hand trap over here, and then he's got the Jealousy or the Evil Eye of Defeat, which lets you bounce cards. This card, however, it does have its uses. Sometimes it can be very, very dirty because it can be a +1 of bounce. But it's basically like, at the end of the day, you can think of it as maybe another negate. So he goes out of 10 and attacks, but that TianWei Dragon, Nahada, is going to go ahead and boost up his monster's attack essentially because it's making the other monster lose 1500. And then from there, your opponent is put into a situation where there's two, like, basically bosses because the Evil Eye of Selene basically makes it so it can't be destroyed by battle, also can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, and they can't target it. And then, so they look at the other TianWei monster, but the other TianWei monster also has kind of immunities also because this card makes it so they're unaffected by other monster effects. And you'll see later on where this Volcanic guy tries to go for a play here. But, like, even under, like, a summon limit, it doesn't really affect the deck, like, at all. In fact, I've seen a lot of TianWei players just rush this card. I did it too, though. I will admit. The Ashura, like, I would just rush to make Ashura, but you don't have to do that. You can literally just sit on the Barefisted Monk and then just start using your hand traps over there. And then in addition to that, Surzeal will protect this card kind of because it can just get rid of any spell or something. The guy tries to go for a scatter shot and then also start destroying all the monsters. But yo, dude, I'm unaffected by this, and then this card's unaffected because of the Eye of Selene. So, like, you can see the mix-up is not bad at all. It definitely has a lot of potential. But I don't know if you guys have tried other things in TianWei, so let me know, because I've been messing around with the deck. I just tried the vanilla TianWeis. I tried to mess around with the Lightsworn, but that one was, like, even more Brick City sometimes. Because you just have, like, one monster. Well, you always get TianWei, the Barefisted Monk, minimum. And then you have a Lightsworn, you mill, and if you don't RNG, well, it's too bad. Anyways, we got the Adele up on the board, the Witchcraft, but we're going to activate the Domain. This card doesn't really do anything in the graveyard, unfortunately, but with the Eye of Selene and, of course, the Surzeal, combo here. Really simple, but you'll have to destroy a card. Not that it really matters because you don't really need this card. But we also happen to have the Waterfall of Dragon Souls, which is a super insanely good card. But when you do mix in the Evil Eyes, you have a lot of potential for less pluses. But this card is straight up the most broken card because you just discard or you send any number of your cards in, and at this point it's just GG. But because you can just send any number of the TianWeis to the grave and then just draw a bunch of cards for each of the ones that you just sent to the grave, plus one, all these cards get their effects in the graveyard when you banish them anyways. So that is actually pretty good. And if you happen to run into something that would maybe say, like, stop your plays, you still at least have the Evil Eyes engine to kind of run off of. But anyways, really cool stuff indeed. And shouts to my boy Monkey Lord for these plays. But I know some of you guys might want the deck profile. We'll kind of talk a little bit about it, because I think it actually has a little bit of potential here. But anyways, we've got 2 copies of the Vishuda, which is the one where if you control a non-effect monster, you banish this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, and you can bounce it back to the hand. And then we have 3 copies of Surziel, because that's part of the Evil Eye engine. And then we have 2 copies of Nahada, 2 copies of Manira, 3 copies of Shatana, and then we have 3 Ash, 3 Veilers, 3 copies of Adhara. Now, I'm also thinking Ghost Ogre could be a good option here. The reason why I think that the hand traps are so strong in this is really, it comes down to the Land of the Eternal. Now, as far as the TianWei Dragons, there's not a card that just lets you search out anything with the exception of, like, this card over here, which lets you add 1 TianWei monster, but it doesn't allow you to instantly add a TianWei spell or trap. If there was one, it could be insanely good, because I feel like this card really helps out turn 1. But outside of turn 1, it doesn't really do too much, so that's perhaps why he did not go for it. But being able to draw into the hand traps is really key. Like I said, I think Ghost Ogre could be a great addition. Even Foolish could be a great addition, because it just lets you basically throw any one of the ones that you want right into the graveyard. But anyways, it also obviously acts as a deck thing. But yeah, so we got 3 copies of Ash and Veiler, then we have 3 copies of Adhara, 2 copies of Terraforming, 1 copy of Reborn, 3 copies of the Hollow Cycle of the Dragon. So this one, it should be a TianWei card, honestly, but it doesn't matter because you can't search the spells and traps anyways, as of right now. And then we have 2 copies of the Eye of Selene, 3 copies of the Evil Eye Domain, which is basically going to search out this card, which then searches out your Evil Eye engine. Then 1 copy of the Eternal, and then we have 1 copy of the Evil Eye Defeat. I don't know how I feel about this card, because sometimes, obviously, if you don't open up with this, it could be bad. But if it's just 1 copy, I think it's definitely viable. This card is just, get rid of, even if you just add 1 more monster from your deck to your hand, it's still just not bad at all. Especially since you can just utilize the destruction, of course, when you happen to have the Eye of Selene in this, you have to destroy a card anyway, so that's fine. And then we have the Sentence of the Evil Eye. Spell a trap is activate, just continue to negate and destroy it. And then if Evil Eye is in your spell and trap zone, this card's activation and effect cannot be negated, so pretty much gives you that triumph of I'm going to negate you no matter what. And then we have the Supreme TianWei style fist, which is again a negate anything. So it's pretty good. As far as the extra deck, we got the Omega Chambara Giant Hand, which we actually did see. You're probably only going to be realistically using it with Reborn, but we got Dweller, we got Shura, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, 2 copies of the Dragon Sage, 1 copy of Land for what is it? Okay, I'm just gonna we'll call it this card. Land, and then we got 3 copies of the TianWei Barefisted Monk, and of course our Link Karibo. Now, there was a combo that you guys saw that was actually pretty good, which was basically just go for Barefisted Monk, you also have Link Karibo, and then you also have your Surziel. So that's a really good setup. Again, the problem that I had when I personally was playing this deck and when I was trying to test out things is, if you get Kaiju'd, all your hand traps become irrelevant. Even if you went like +5 off of Waterfall, right? You just straight up lose to anything that gets rid of like a 1 monster. Although the whole deck is really made to protect that 1 monster, if your summon gets negated, it's not that big of a deal, because as long as you control no effect monsters, you just special summon again. So it doesn't have like recovery problems from your initial summon, but it's more so when your opponent goes, if you don't negate everything that they do, it's more so just like, if they somehow get rid of your 1 monster, your board is completely open because you can't utilize these. But, of course, with the Evil Eye Mix-Up, you happen to have a monster that is basically a boss monster. And like I said, like even though this card is, it's only got 1,000 attack, it becomes much stronger when like, oh wait, you wanna do anything to it, I'm gonna boost up its attack. I'm going to go ahead and have that effect. If you want to target my card, I'm going to get rid of that. And if it's getting destroyed, I'm going to go ahead and special summon the monster, have it come back, and then pop another monster. So the Evil Eyes and this make a pretty good pair, I would say so myself. I was even thinking, because, well, you can only utilize one Evil Eye anyways. If you maxed up this, maybe you can put on some draw power, because I feel like that's one thing that the TianWei dragons kind of suffer from. I know this card is absolutely amazing. If this card was a spell card, it'd be so much better. But if you guys got any other cool ideas for the TianWei dragons, like I said, I did try the last one. I mean, if I just keep on playing, I'll eventually get good gameplay footage, right? But I think that this one's a little bit better. But anyways, guys, let me know what you've been mixing in the TianWei dragons with. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy mix-ups like the Evil Eye TianWeis. And if you guys got any cool replays, feel free to send them in to AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.